Hey guys, it's Super Dave. If you just watched my unboxing Frodo video, here I am again. We're gonna put all this stuff together and see how this works out. So you're with me. This is the first time I'm doing this. He's brand new to me, obviously. Figure's been out a little while, but we're gonna see what's up with him. Sorry for the lighting. It's late. This is the only chance I have to do a video, but we'll make it work. It's a little dark. Not much I can do. I've literally got almost every light in the house on, so I guess I could haul some lamps over here or something, but honestly I don't have an outlet close enough to do that either, so never mind. Anyway, let's get to this. He's a really cool little figure. I really have to reiterate that. He's a really cool little figure. And I'm just thrilled that Asmus is doing the Hobbit line. I'm a big Tolkien fan. Going back to my childhood, my dad was a big Tolkien fan, and so he always had the books in our bookcase, and I've always been an avid reader. So I was tackled the Hobbit. Of course, we had the animated what was that? The Rankin Bass, right? Did the Hobbit, and Ralph Bakshi did the other ones, or do I have those reversed? Either way, we had that on tape, and man, I wore that thing out, man. That was just the best thing ever. The songs, the goblins, a wizard, that was good stuff. So as I got older and I realized, oh, that came from a book, you know, and my dad was a big fan, had some of Tolkien's other works as well. I read The Hobbit, and I didn't read Lord of the Rings until I was much older, before the movies came out. But I've read, I couldn't even tell you how many times I've read The Hobbit. I've read Lord of the Rings about 6 times. As a matter of fact, I just finished it for the 7th time about 3 weeks ago. So, yeah, I'm reading the Silmarillion now. It's the first time I'm reading through that. It's good stuff. Again, I'm just thrilled that one of my favorite licenses is being produced, and with such quality. It would not be unfair to say I'm a pretty forgiving collector. Having said that, though, I didn't go in for the Dragon and Dreams version of Frodo, or I do own the Dragon and Dreams Legolas, but I only bought that for the shoulder armor, and that went promptly on my Sideshow Legolas. So I do have the other company's, or at least Sideshow's version of the what Lord of the Rings figures they did produce. So again, like, I think this is great. There's always going to be the naysayers. Sometimes, personally speaking, it's hard for me to read all that negativity and feel like maybe it's not a quality figure. And so far, every time I've read things like that, I've gone with my gut instinct and purchased it anyway and been thrilled. So there was some complaints about the likeness on this one, the color of his eyes, facial structure, the hair. Somebody's always going to find something to complain about, okay? You know what? Vote with your wallet. I mean, if you don't like this one, go snag that Dragon and Dreams one off eBay, or, you know, something like that. Sideshow, those Sideshow Frodos are still pretty available on eBay and other places. So, yeah, I mean, if you don't like this one, go get one of those other ones, right? Okay, not a fair comparison is what they'll say. I think it's great. I'm freaking ecstatic. I have yet to be let down. But again, like I said, it's not unfair to call me a forgiving collector. But I don't even think it's that. I just, you know, they're doing a great job. It's an action figure. It's not a statue. It's not a bust, a life-size bust. You can't expect it to be photorealistic to the actor. And how long are those? If you watch that entire extended trilogy, what are you looking at? Like almost 11 hours, 12 hours of screen time, and you're going to capture 1 second of that of those photo of that movie and put it into a scale likeness for an action figure. You know, there was a point made with the Sam Gamgee figure was Sean Astin's weight, I guess, fluctuated a little bit over the course of those movies, as did Elijah Wood's. So what are you really going for? Are you going for a Fellowship of the Ring, Return of the King, Two Towers? Again, does that look like Elijah Wood? Hell yeah. Does that look like Frodo Baggins in the movies? Right. I couldn't be happier. Somebody's always going to bitch about something. I think they're fantastic, man. If you're a Lord of the Rings fan, buy these figures. There's my endorsement. So, what have we got here? What should we do first? Let's put the sword on there. So, while I'm doing this, if you watched my video, you saw that this thing falls right out. There's no retention whatsoever. But you could probably fix that with, you could probably even slide a little piece of paper or something right in there. Maybe some blue tack just right at the edge. Give it just enough resistance so that it wouldn't slide out. Anyway, here he is. I believe those instructions said to slide this on over the feet. If they didn't, I did see that somewhere. Probably, if it's not on the instructions, it was on one of the toy forums that I frequent. Same name, by the way, if you want to come. Huh. That is kind of a lot of leftover belt. He's a skinny little guy, Frodo. So this is obviously after he's been on the road a little while with Strider. That is a lot of extra belt, actually. I mean, you could wrap that around him twice. Alright, that's cool. I like it. It's kind of nice that it was pre-assembled, unlike my Ring Wraith, where I had to figure that out for myself. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and make that little loop that we make with these figures, tuck the belt up from underneath, and I'm not going to tighten it too much right now. I mostly just want to get him assembled, as it were, and then I'm going to, do any of the final futzing on my own, figure out what look I'm going for. I'm sorry my hands are in the way, but it's kind of hard to do this otherwise, unless I take them off camera completely. So there, come on, up and over, through. Then we're just going to pull that. Obviously, you want to be careful with these straps. I would hate to tear this leather, or whatever it is, pleather, because honestly, I don't know. You could probably find... Actually, I don't know if you could find a loose one on any of the retailers that break up the figures. I can't recall seeing a loose Hobbit belt, you know what I'm saying? So there it is. It's all cinched as it's going to get for right now. So you're going to have that little bit that's hanging down like most of their belts do. Strider's being the longest, but comparatively speaking, this is a runner-up for how much extra you're going to have hanging off of there. Can y'all even see that? Again, I apologize for the lights. It's like 3 in the morning, so this is what I got to work with. It's that, or like wait another week to make this video, and I was ready to open this guy up. So there's that. So let's just drop Sting down in there for now. There you have it. So it does have this little retention strap that's going to help. God, you can't even see that. It's going to help keep everything in place. Is that better? I just cannot get an angle. There you go. that little retention strap. I'm sorry for the quality of this video, guys. I will be right back. Alright, that's a little better, I hope. Hopefully that didn't create any weird shadows or any color. It's a warmer light than I like to use, but that's as good as it's going to get here and now. Anyhow, so you can see there's that little retention strap I was just talking about. You can see this a lot better. There's that strap I was saying. It's really long, about as long as Strider's is. And again, I'm a little bit rusty on my costume photos from the movies. I don't know if that was really there or how that was worn in the movie. I will be going and checking that out, doing some internet research, and I've got all the well, not all of them, but I've got the art books and some of the production books from the movies. So I'll dig through those and see what I can find. But anywho, pretty cool. Fits well, looks good. Whoops, we'll get that out and put it in his hand here in a minute. So I'm just going to leave that hand on. I actually really like both these hands he's got on. I'm kind of surprised he didn't come with a pipe. For some reason I thought he did, but I guess I'm thinking of version 1 probably that includes the smoking pipe, which don't condone smoking, not a smoker myself, but it's a cool little accessory to have. I really like it, and it's very synonymous, I guess, with hobbits. So what else have we got? Let's do, I'm going to save the One Ring. Well, we're going to do that. We're going to do that at the same time we do the cloak, which I guess we could just go ahead and do now. Yeah? So we're going to pop this head off, and hopefully I don't break or tear anything in the process. Not hard. I was not putting a hole. That's, in fact, a lot easier than a lot of my other figures. Not hard at all. So, let's drop the One Ring on there. I don't know how I want to display him with the ring, but for now, that's what we're going to do. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do with that. I'm going to have to really think about this. So again, here's the version 2 cloak, not the Elven cloak, no brooch, it's much too dark. It's his dark or emerald, well, I guess it's not even really emerald, it's pretty dark green, just traveling cloak, I guess is what you'd call it, that he set out from Hobbiton with on his way to Bree, and then after he met up with Strider and with all that. So fits right over there, looks good. Again, it's wired, so you will have to mess with that a little bit. Now let's pop this bad boy back on. I don't know if we can see down in there. Just curious what it, okay. So it looks like 3 pieces. You got your hair, your face, and then whatever that thing is in there that's all attached to where the neck post pops in. Interesting. I always like to know, like I'm the guy who takes things apart just to find out what's inside. Whoops. Let's not brace him against the table to do this. So yeah, that was a lot easier. I don't know what I was doing. And my file of Galadriel's file went flying. Well, that looks pretty good. I like that quite a lot. So the version 1 does come with the Hobbit, the Elven cloak. I'm sorry again, it's been a long day. It's 3 in the morning. My brain is pretty fried and it is not working the way I want it to. you know, the plate Lothlorien. They're Lorien cloaks. So, but this looks really good. I really like the way it lays on him. It's a good fabric. I was kind of worried that might have a tendency to stick up or pop up, but that's laying pretty well. Just, you know, again, it's wired, so if you just mess with it the right way, which just pull it apart, pull it towards the shoulders, that kind of flattens it out and gives it that a natural looking lay on there. I guess if you wanted to, you know, like pull it up over his head like they just got to Bree. Him and his 4 hobbits. I don't know. Is there any other time in the movies he had his hood up? I don't recall any, except that downpour when they arrived at Bree. So we're just gonna leave it down like that. I'm gonna leave this inner coat open for now. I'll probably close it back up, or I don't know. I really don't know how I'm gonna display him. I don't know. I might take it off altogether. We'll see. I don't know. I'm not one of those guys that's how do I want to say this? I guess bound to screen accuracy. Like, you know, I want to figure that looks good, that displays well, and if it's not quite the way it looked in the movie or the, you know, whatever medium the character was presented in, I'm okay with that as long as you get the essence of the character across, I think is what's important. So if you can find a display that it's not screen accurate but it looks cool, then by all means don't get too bogged down on, well, yeah, you never look like that in the movie, but who cares, man? Just enjoy this. So let's put the backpack on there. We'll see how we can do this. So see, he doesn't come with a stand, which I was going to address here in a minute with the other figures, but I'll go ahead and do it now because he keeps losing his, well, he's not losing his balance, but you can see I don't have his legs or his feet. Can you see that? Yeah. They're not firmly planted flat on the surface, so there's a little bit of wobble to them, but it doesn't take much. And again, because those are solid pieces, he is very heavy down here at the feet, which keeps his center of gravity low. So he's really not prone to tipping, but he's tall enough and thin enough that once that, point of no return is reached, it doesn't take much, just a couple degrees, and he's going to go over. But he feels so sturdy that I can't imagine I don't feel like anything's going to break at all. Like some of it, you know, we all have a figure on our shelves that if it took a dive, you know, it might be done for, but I don't feel like that's the case with this one. You might have to go chasing down the sword or something like that, but he ain't going to break. He feels really sturdy. So I'm just going to do this one at a time, right over his riding cloak. We can futz it up a little bit here in a minute. Just start a drinking game for every time I say futz. There's another. And get that on his shoulders as opposed to on his arms. See, okay, look, you see what's going on there? The hood's really riding up, so we're gonna have to work with this a little bit. Let's pull that back down. I just kind of like the way that looks, and over the shoulders, but still, you know, I got it looking pretty good on. Who did I get it? I guess Aragorn with, or Strider, I should say. Yeah, that's going to take a little bit of work. And probably going to want the hood to go underneath. Or maybe on top, I don't know, it just seems like it'd be a strange position there. If it was on top, it wouldn't look. So there, that works. And I'll go in and I'll smooth out all these wrinkles, pull it out. So here we're starting to restrict his movement, obviously because of the cloak. Just a little tight. Still get decent enough. You could pose him, especially if you were to take the time to adjust the clothes as you're doing it. You could still pull off any pose you wanted. You still see the one ring into there. Nice, lays nice. Pull that down a little bit. So let's put this bad boy in there. Am I wrong? Is it the light of Elendil? I just, I can't look that up right now while I'm doing this video. I don't have anything in front of me. Or is that just my my sleep-deprived brain that's got that Elendil stuck in my head? It looks really good. I like that little hand. I really like these hands. That's a great hand, I think. I'm going to keep that one on there. His relaxed hands, yeah, they're fine, whatever. I don't know. I guess I do have some relaxed hands on some of my figures. Definitely not the gun grip hand. I really like... Is that like some industry joke? Like every figure, no matter what's going to have the gun grip hand. Even though it's a fantasy figure in what would otherwise be referred to as a medieval time. Ring finger, I can imagine some things I could do with that. And then, of course, the outspread hand, which I can also think of some things I can do with that. I'm really excited to start taking some photos with him and getting some poses. That is a great hand, too. Now that I've got sword in it, it holds that sword really well. Some figures just have a standard hand, and let's say not unlike the gun grip hand, that aren't going to hold a sword, especially a smaller sword like this, with any kind of retention. That is great. This doesn't look natural. He's got it by his pinky and ring finger. I guess if you were in some kind of, well, that's even temperamental at best. Yep. Yeah, I could see, you could probably get some very peculiar, or not peculiar, but specific poses out of this. Huh, I just noticed it's got a little bend in it. Extremely slight. Well, I don't know, maybe you can see it. If you can't, it's there. Right there. Anyway. But this is a great little sword hand, especially for such a great little sword. More of a letter opener, really, but wrong movie, I know. Same sword, though. Yeah, he holds that really securely with all four of his fingers and palm are making contact. The thumb, not so much. Mostly just the cradle there, but fantastic, man. It looks good. It looks like he's really holding that, man. I love it. I freaking love this. What an awesome little figure. He is great. Man, I really love him. I am so happy. I've been wanting him for a long time, but it's just one of those things. He's available, right? So I'm like, I'll get the ones that are harder to find, and but man, I don't know, just something about him lately. I really wanted a Frodo. I really like to have a Frodo. Finally get a Frodo, and oh my God, he's fantastic. I am thrilled with this figure. I love it. A lot of potential, man. And look, he's like what, 6 inches? Nah, he's Probably 7. I don't have a ruler handy. Who cares? He's little, man. Like, he'd be really easy to travel with, and like I said, I travel for work, so I could throw him into even just a little day bag, and if I came across some interesting or otherwise neat location, I could throw him down and snap a few location photos, and that would be great. Some of these figures, they're just way too intricate. I couldn't imagine doing that with Strider or Aragorn. I mean, Legolas, you'd end up losing a freaking arrow or something like that, But, it wouldn't take much just to drop him in a bag, and yeah, I might do that. Anyway, what a great little figure. He's solid, bends well, joints are tight. I don't feel like I'm about to snap anything off. I just can't say enough good things. I'm a happy collector, man. Maybe I should change my name to the Happy Collector. My collection is not prolific by any stretch of the imagination, but I do like what I have, man. I'm happy. I'm happy to have this kind of thing. Such quality, and I'm willing to pay for it if they're available. It's getting a little bright. There we go. I don't know how I feel about this riding cloak. I'll probably have thinking I'll probably display him like this with a Strider version of Aragorn, and then my version 1 with the Elven cloak, with the the appropriate Aragorn raiment, with Aragorn's Elven cloak, and the rest of the Fellowship their Elven cloak. Speaking of the rest of the Fellowship, I'm going to cut this video out now. I don't want to keep you guys too long, drone on and on forever. I can get on my soapboxes, and if it wasn't so late, I'd probably be going off about Lord of the Rings right now, in a good way. I'm a big fan of the property again, since all we had was those animated Bakshi and Rankin Bass movies. Big fan of the books as well, and so I'm really happy that really happy that we have Lord of the Rings and Hobbit figures, even some of those more obscure ones, Tariel. I mean, yeah, I have Tariel, complete fabrication on the part of Peter Jackson, but a cool figure nonetheless, and one that I'm really happy to have in my collection. Anyway, cutting this short. If you want, stay tuned. Tune back in when you have more time. I'm going to compare him now to a couple other Lord of the Rings figures from Asmus, and talk about that a little bit. And that'll be that. So thanks for watching. Again, questions, comments, concerns, drop me a line. My social media of choice is Instagram. Again, it's _superdave_. Where you can find photography of some of my collection. I obviously favor some of them more than others, but that's where I spend most of my time. So go check that out if you want. Give me a follow. You can message me there. I'll follow you back, whatever. Thanks for watching.